was 72, the church decided to do something called Life Work Recruits. And there were 18 of us that had indicated that we would try and chart our course in our careers to be in full-time ministry. And I think out of those 18, something like 12 of the 18 actually turned out to be in full-time ministry. So I think those were two key memories that I had of the experiences, and it was the missions focus of Brooklyn Heights and Covenant that exposed our kids, us kids, to God's work in different places all over the world. But I have a special fondness for missions because it was on a missions trip to Guatemala that I actually met my wife, and we got together, and it was the best gift I could ever imagine.
Dave, let me ask you a question here. There was a point in your time, in your life, I believe, where you considered going on the mission field.
That's true.
Tell us a little bit about that, and how did God work in your life to lead you to go into church ministry as opposed to going on the mission field?
We were planning to go to Beirut, Lebanon. We had been accepted by the Lebanese Evangelical Missions Organization. I was going to teach on a high school level, and Nita was going to work with preschool and small children. We had our passports. We were ready to go, and the State Department informed us that they were not allowing any U.S. citizens into Beirut. We heard later that 3 months after we would have been there, the school that we would have been teaching at was bombed and destroyed. The Lord, in his sense of marvelous humor, sent us instead to Hawaii.
How did God lead you to decide to go into church ministry?
I fought it.
You shared on how he put up the roadblock for missions, but how did you decide?
Well, I fought it all the way. The last thing I wanted to be was a pastor. There were too many meetings, and I decided at a very early age that being in ministry was only for people who were saints, and I wasn't one, so I didn't think I would do that. And so I majored in psychology, thinking I would be a counselor. And when that didn't happen, then I went to seminary to be a counselor there. Decided I didn't like that. Decided youth work was fun. We went to Maui for 3 years, and I decided youth work wasn't what I enjoyed. And what I really enjoyed was working in the church, which just scared the willies out of me.
Yeah.
Given the fact that I'm lousy with languages, and I knew I had to pass Greek and Hebrew to get my MDiv, and it was only by God's grace that I was able to get through that. But the folks at Covenant and at Brooklyn Heights before that were very patient with me and brought me through.